I reckon it's one of the best places to like people watch on the planet. Like the beachheads that come down here are like...
Wait, what's a beachhead? Can you describe?
Beachhead, it's like people who go to the beach. Like they're not typically at the beach, but they flock to the beach. Like that's a beachhead.
Big time.
And next we're gonna cut to Mikey's seat in the bunker, but have you guys seen Mikey?
I think I might have saw him down there. Have you seen him, Dill?
Yeah, I think I saw him down on the beach.
You guys know I hate leaving my bunker, but the WSL didn't leave me much of a choice, did they? With no official webcast to speak of, the Ulani brothers' pirate stream canceled, and Surfline's 89 pier cameras lacking a zoom function, I needed to find out what was going on in the comp before the WSL webcast kicks in. So I did my best to blend in with the local surroundings. Luckily, I escaped unscathed, and I was able to get a look at the world's best pond hoppers in real life. The WSL's webcast is due to kick in on Monday morning, just as the hurricane swell arrives. It's almost like they scripted this. Speaking of which, who's gonna win the 2022 Vans U.S. Open? A lot of the previous male winners will not be in attendance this week, as they're all busy prepping for battle in Tahiti. On the women's side, all 3 of the most recent winners are in the draw, from Katie Simmers, to Sage Erickson, to Courtney CONLOGUE. That brings us to the number 6 surfers in the world, both of whom are past US Open champions, KONOA Igarashi and Lakey Peterson. While KONOA and Lakey are favorites on paper, you have to question their incentives for going deep in the draw. The US Open will conclude on August 7th, and the Tahiti CT window opens on the 11th. Is it possible that they'll lose early here in order to get more practice time at Chopu? It's worth noting that KONOA Igarashi is just 1 win away from tying Tom Curren and Corky Carroll as the winningest men in US Open history. And if his surfing in round 1 is any indication, KONOA might just be more invested in becoming the best Huntington beach surfer ever than a world champion. Speaking of conflicts of interest, can we talk about KEANU ASING? The former CT winner recently took a job as Billabong's team manager, giving his skills and knowledge back to the next generation of tour hopefuls. This became tricky when KEANU received a wild card into the Bolito event and rode it all the way to a semi-final finish, cementing himself at 18th on the Challenger Series rankings, higher than any of his disciples. After receiving another wild card into the Vans U.S. Open, KEANU was put into an extremely delicate situation this Saturday. Facing Billabong's young prodigy, Liam O'Brien, KEANU had to decide if he would let Liam hold on to second place in the dying minutes, or go heart over health insurance and crush the Australian's dreams, just like he did to Medina in the 2016 France final. After consulting with his financial advisor, KEANU opted to keep the backhand hammers fastened firmly to his tool belt and finish the heat responsibly in 3rd place.
As we learned earlier, the conditions will be small at the start of the event.
I lost my keys!
Which means we'll be seeing a lot of the infamous Huntington hop. We spoke with a professor of physics to get his take on whether the Huntington hop actually works, or if surfers have just been getting it wrong this whole time. What do you guys think?
Surfing, physics.
Together at last.
We need to know the science behind it. Please tell us. Inform us.
My name is Michael Buren, and I'm a professor of physics studying fluid dynamics at Cal State San Marcos. For a wave, even if it's not steep enough to ride, the fact it's slightly tilted means if you're doing a bit of a hop, it's giving you that forward momentum that you're looking for to get some more speed. So some of it is basically just jumping and trying not to sink too much when you land, or else because that would stall you again. You notice when they hop, it's almost like a skateboard ollie where they're putting pressure on the back foot. A good fraction of the board is out of the water. And so when it leaves the water, it means there's less surface area, meaning less drag. Less drag means a little bit more speed. People are canoeing on these totally placid rivers and lakes, and yet they can propel themselves across a body of water without any paddling. And they do it by basically using their own wake, but they have to bounce off the wake at just the right frequency. And so I think something like this is similar to what's happening with the hop. The thing is with the hop, you don't have to create the wave, right? It's already there.
I think hopping works better, but it doesn't look as good as weaving.
Sometimes it's just survival hopping. You gotta do what you gotta do to make the inside. Get the extra point too.
Personally, I like how the weave looks a little better, but sometimes you just can't resist it. You gotta end up hopping.
Try to get the swivel going, but you end up hopping every time.
I think you have to weave. I don't think hopping works.
The tic-tacking might be more effective if you have a little bit steeper wave face. In fact, I think it's perhaps telling that a lot of times people start off with a straightforward hop and then they start tic-tacking once they get the wave builds up a little bit. So I think they're both effective, but the straight kind of the beachward just hop without tic-tacking is probably like the, you know, it's like the last resort before you lose the wave. So it's probably the one you do first if you're about to lose speed.
So that was the expert's take on the Huntington hop, but you guys actually tried it in the field. How was that?
It's hard work.
It's tough. It's tough out there. Huntington hop is no joke.
I don't know when the last time Dr. Buren was out there hopping himself, but it's hard work, you know? That hop, it's really hard work.
You rocked the balls and ass off of HB, if I remember correctly. Hi, I'm Dylan.
And I'm Harry.
And we're here for
Surf
Science. We're actually gonna use this dice to figure out which one of us is gonna do which hop. So there's two different styles of hop. There's the S turn and there's the whatever, the platypus hop.
The platypus.
The porpoise.
That was the S turn.
So, am I S turning?
You're S turning.
Sweet.
It's definitely easier said than done.
Definitely made me really appreciate the QS grinders.
We were breaking it down out there. It's like, I feel like the prettier way to do it is the S turn, and that's probably what like judges are looking for, or what I would think.
Yeah.
But I think the more efficient way is the firecracker, like, you know, bounce.
Yeah. I think we ended up both just hopping in the end.